Fate and delusion versus separation and reality. Rahu and Cancer. Rahu in the 4th house. You are living a psychic and prophetic life. This prophecy will be given to you from ancestral lineage through Akashic records, but also just even simpler than that, by learning to take the privacy you need to create an inner home and happiness within yourself. The South Node in Capricorn, otherwise known as Ketu in the 10th house or Ketu in Capricorn, is a sign that is used to serving the lower world, the low socioeconomic classes, by gaining and accumulating massive wealth and resources that you learn how to use very efficiently through tremendous restriction in your past life, to the point of almost depriving yourself of the resources that you give to other people with your South Node in the 10th house. The South Node in the 10th house, South Node Capricorn, is an Earth house, but it is governed by Saturn, and it is exalted in Mars. So when you're having this position natally, you need to look and see, where is my Mars, to understand where in my past life may I have expressed this power of mine, this masculine output, externalizing my validation and rewards to receive compliments and please the social economic environment, aka Earth, in a way that denies myself of joy, happiness, pleasure, sex, lust, and the expression of emotion, equating to your sacral chakra. This is a very inner child lock position, and it is very hidden from you at a conscious level. In order for you to dive into this, you have to learn that before you can care with the North Node in Cancer, before you can care for another person, you have to care for yourself. The first 4 zodiacs, if you look at our memberships, we talked about this plenty of times, is about the self, your individual needs, fears, and insecurities. With the North Node in Cancer, you must embrace your insecurities. Check out our membership coming up this Sunday. We're going to talk all about this. And do remember to not only hit the thumbs up and the likes button, as I say I love you, but to remember that this Sunday, okay, every first and third Sunday, we're going to actually talk about Cancer in your Vedic D1, D9, and D10 charts, as well as your Western astrology, whether it's Placidus or whole sign, if you have the North Node in Cancer here. Now, I will also go further to say that if you happen to have Jupiter in Cancer, the Sun in Cancer, and the Moon in Cancer, then you might resonate with a lot of what we're talking about in this particular video. So stay tuned, because these link to past and future lives. So I have my mini notes, some stuff that we're going to cover this week. All right. One of the major things you're going to learn is that you have a tremendous frustration with privacy in this life, because in your past life, you didn't have a lot of privacy. You're going to live with the South Node in Capricorn or K2 in the 10th house in a emotionally repressive environment, whether it was one or both of your parents. A lot of times you'll find that with this particular position, your mother had a lot of control over your life, and your father may have played a traditional masculine role where he may have provided the finances, but not necessarily the emotional support that the divine feminine within you requires and needs. Whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. And so with this, there's going to be a tremendous spiritual shift in this life. And we're going to talk about these headlines and what those spiritual shifts are about, how to access your prophecy energy, how to align with your imagination, coming from a past life with the South Node in Capricorn, where you didn't really have an imagination. Tradition was everything, work hard, and hard work was required to grow and build. In this life, with the North Node in Cancer or Rahu in the 4th house, you will realize that you're not always going to take the hard road like a Taurus or a Capricorn or even a Virgo. All the earth signs take a very arduous path with a tremendous amount of challenges, and they don't really rely on their spiritual well-being and awareness, which is why in this life with the North Node in Cancer or Rahu in Cancer, you're going to adopt a more spiritually aware understanding of what cannot be seen in your environment around you. Now, in order to do this, you must experiment with the home and home matters, and understand that you didn't receive the type of nurturing and care and your upbringing and your childhood within the home that most other zodiac axis had between the North Node, South Node, or Rahu, Ketu. And so as a part of this, understand that Rahu wants you to actually engage in more subjective feelings and not always stay stuck and trapped in your commitments, because your commitments with the South Node in Capricorn, the South Node in 10th house, your commitments is something that is an obligation that you don't actually align and resonate with in this life. It was good for other people. By you suppressing your emotions, you were in control of others, because you naturally sourced your emotional well-being and nurturing outside of yourself. In your past life, this worked to be completely stoic. In this life, you must embrace the fact that you will be moody, you will be emotional, you will have waves of chaotic emotional energy that will shift you like the ocean does. And the ocean has no pattern that we can predict, which is why Cancer is very closely linked to Aquarius, why it quincunxes that energy. Now, with that said, when you learn to control yourself and actually nurture your own emotional well-being the way in which your past life you did for others, Capricorn is an energy that attracts people who are in need. And so you supplied them through your loving, nurturing, and healing abilities in the material realm, but not in the emotional and I would even say social emotional spaces. Okay, you didn't add the water, the intuition, the gentle compassion that it requires to love yourself. This is a self-loving access. When you have the North Node in the 4th house, the North Node in Cancer, it is about learning how to accept yourself so that you do not require the validation from others. Only then will you realize, when you start experimenting with the home and taking care of yourself and taking care of, most importantly, your home and all the matters in the home. This includes washing the dishes, doing the laundry, making the bed, sweeping and mopping the floor. Learn to do this. Rahu in Cancer will reward you if you experiment with cleaning and different schedules and rituals and controlling your home environment. If your home is out of control and you are only at work making money to fulfill a purpose that has nothing to do with you as an individual, you will be miserable. You will always find yourself feeling pissed off, angry, grumpy, and completely dissatisfied. So with that said, one of your Achilles heels is learning how to take charge of the self. You're really not that good at that, and I talked about this. In your past life, you were a billionaire, but for reasons that other people told you should be rich. Other people told you should have a good job. Other people told you that you should gain prestige in all of your social and economic environments among your peers. But in this life, you will make a lot of money because you have a tremendous amount of discipline to put towards anything, especially if you do it towards yourself. And if it's for the home. If you make money because you want to create a bed and breakfast, run an Airbnb, create a nursery as a part of a subdivision in your home, and you want to have a big house that you can give people a completely separate wing to your home where you never even have to see them, and it's for people who love to travel and need a very homely, domesticated environment abroad, who comes from a culturally different background than your own, but you struggled with this and you felt alienated in your own home, so you decide that that is an emotional purpose big enough and strong enough for you to actually accumulate wealth. Now that means something to you. You have an emotional connection to it. Now you make billions. Now you have a mansion. If you do it just because you think you're going to make money, because all of your friends are doing it and they think it's cool, and within the social dynamics of your environment, then you'll fail. You will fail at that real estate project and all projects related. Tremendously powerful as a superpower in hospitality, bars, hotel industry, restaurants, as well as taking responsibility and aligning with a higher purpose than yourself. But it has to be for yourself, for the reason why. So this is what I have for you. I'll give you one affirmation from our membership. Okay, control is a losing battle. You have a tremendous amount of control of other people. In reality, you want to create and learn how to manipulate your own emotions so that they push and propel you forward in a very powerful way. as you hit that thumbs up and that likes button. Another one that I really love, and I'll share this last affirmation, okay? Sharing my true feelings blossoms life and liberates me. Sharing my true feelings blossom life and liberate me. In this life, Cancer in the North Node, you are going to be forced to liberate yourself by sharing your fears and your insecurities. Everything that you were once unconscious about, coming conscious about it, and learning how to be vulnerable, which Capricorn in the South Node, or Ketu in the 10th house, was tremendously poor at being vulnerable. It was actually all about being stoic and never showing your true cards, so that you can climb the ladder and potentially have a tremendous amount of integrity challenges. But in this life, you're being asked to actually share your weakness. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. Come join us this Sunday for our membership. I want to say thank you. I love you. This is your AstroShaman, inspiring brilliance with spiritual accountability and occult practices. We'll be going through Qigong this particular weekend. We'll be working through the stomach and the pancreas and taking and healing worry that you have accumulated from your past life responsibilities and duties that were above and beyond you from a high purpose. But in this life, they plagued you and made you feel responsible for things that you have no business taking control of. Other than that, I have a self-reflection question. Am I controlling others? And this is one of the reasons and one of the ways, if this self-reflection question is a free one, we'll go through a lot more in our membership. This is how you'll know that you're completely out of balance if you're controlling others. That is not your duty in this life. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're brand new. If you're watching this and you're a recurring viewer, I want to say thank you for being a major support on our channel. Consider joining on our membership here on YouTube, or our membership outside of YouTube. Outside of YouTube, you're getting the in-depths. Inside YouTube, you're getting private videos, affirmations, and self-reflection questions that no one else is getting, along with meditations. But you're getting all that and 1000% more outside of our membership. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up and subscribing. I will see you soon.